So why are you here today?
I'm here because I care about Canada and I think there are ways to improve our democracy.
I'm here today because I support a fair way of electing our politicians. I'm a supporter of Fair Vote Canada. I want to see Canada move to proportional representation. It'll be a fair system, and we might just elect more women.
I'm here today because I am getting increasingly frustrated by the current government's policies and how that impacts on my life and the life of people that I know that are part of marginalized populations in Canada.
I want to have the next election be a referendum on putting a stake through the heart of first past the post. And I'd like you guys
I was invited to talk about my research, which basically looks at the relationship between political institutions, including electoral systems, and turning out to vote, most recently by young people. But once I was here, people asked me to do a kind of electoral systems 101, explaining the difference between these different electoral systems. So they've kept me busy.
Sometimes speakers start saying in a very boring way, I'm pleased to be here. Well, in my case today, I'm very pleased and it's very sincere, and to the point that after a little chat with Professor Milner this morning, I decided to free my afternoon and to stay longer with you. I think
I'm here because I'm convinced that there are many like-minded people from across the country who are looking for a solution to vote splitting on the center and left of the political spectrum. And at this particular point in history, we face a great deal of urgency with our current government, and this compels us to find a solution and to go beyond our past partisanship.
Well, I'm here because fair electoral systems are absolutely critical. In our first-past-the-post system, a party can win 39% of the vote and get 100% of the power, and our system says that's fair. But 61% of Canadians in the last federal election didn't support the Conservatives, and yet they're getting many things rammed down their throats now. And so we need fair electoral systems. That is the basis of our democracy, and it's actually something that's protected in our Constitution, that every vote should have an equal value. So this is why I'm here.
I have two problems with what you're saying. Is that first, to only criticize the system and to not explain by what is the alternative will never work.
The alternative is proportional representation. I don't care about the details.
I care about the details. I'm here to say I care about the details.
But in a system like ours, where a party can win 40%, it still has a good chance of forming a majority.
Well, I was recently elected to the executive of the Fair Vote Toronto chapter. This is my first national AGM. Definitely wanted to see Stéphane Dion speak and Elizabeth May, Peggy Nash. There's some wonderful people from different parties here who I came to hear, and to really just learn a little bit more about the culture of Fair Vote Canada so that I can be a better member of my own executive locally.
What I would like to propose is that when we have a next referendum, and we will have one somewhere, that there be two questions. Do you want to keep first past the post? And then secondly, do you approve of mixed member proportional or SPP? Well, the problem with the way these referendums have been held in Ontario and in British Columbia is at the end of the day, you don't know whether people rejected SPP because they prefer MMP, or whether it was really a referendum, as it tends to be interpreted, that voters like the current system they have. So I think a first question, do you want to keep first past the post? At least then you've got a read on that. And if your replacement for first past the post is not something the voters are ready for, at least you know how people feel about first past the post. And we don't know that the way the current referendums, the ones that we've had in the past, are constructed.
The Liberal Party has promised us many things over the years, national pharmacare system and national child care system, things that we still don't have, even though we did have majority Liberal governments for years. So my question to you is, why should we believe you now?
I'm here because I think that democracy is the most important issue in Canada, and Fair Vote is an incredibly important organization for helping all Canadians to make sure that we have a government that represents us as well as possible.
Do you get emotionally involved with anyone you choose? Do you go uptown, downtown, looking around, hoping for a miracle today? Or Can you feel the love?